Today on the show, we have some new Red Dead Online leaked intel to discuss. We have details of 2 activities which have the potential to come into Red Dead Online in a future new update, and whether that update is one in the coming weeks or with the DLC come wintertime or even beyond that time frame, we're not sure. However, those players out there who just like to kick back and chill with your mates, then you guys may find this as some good news. So if you enjoyed this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on today's video. And if you'd like to stay up to date and in the loop with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. To begin, let's look at what Rockstar Insider and enthusiast TezFun2 had to share with us. Not sure if this was mentioned before, but oddly enough, the game data structs of Blackjack and Five Finger Fillet have been removed, whereas Domino's game data structs remains intact. So, the next update would likely feature Blackjack and Five Finger Fillet introduced as new activities. So like I said earlier, while there is no info on when this update would be, it is good to know that Rockstar has plans to expand on the minigame activities and online. Right now, we really only have poker, which also could use its own update, because as it stands right now, I don't really see any players at all searching for public poker lobbies to join. If someone is playing, it's most likely with their friends in a private game. And the unfortunate thing is with poker in general is whether it's a private or public game, you can't even bet that much money to make any real money for your time, as Rockstar is trying to prevent people from boosting money by having their friends or something throw their hand and fold after going all in. But if we're able to look beyond the money within these activities and focus purely on the value it adds to your gameplay, I do think there is some place for more minigames in Red Dead Online. Poker is one of them, which we already have, and then Blackjack and Five Finger Fillet can surely be numbers 2 and 3, as I did enjoy playing these games in Red Dead Redemption 1 story mode. But there's a few key things Rockstar needs to make sure they do if there's any chance for these minigame additions to be well received by players. And here are my main concerns. 1. It shouldn't just be limited to these 2. There should be a whole sector of the DLC dedicated to introducing all minigame activities from the story mode like Domino's, as well as even add more new activities like, for example, Liar's Dice, which I think is something all players from Red Dead Redemption 1 would surely enjoy trying out in Red Dead Online. But not only that, we also need the ability to play these games from our camp or have our own property to play them in as well. Both would require additions to be made to those places of dwelling, which would make way for more customization, which is just basically an offshoot and just an even better thing about the game if we could get that as well. But back to that, for example, at your camp, you can purchase a poker table or a blackjack table or just a smaller table for Five Finger Fillet to play with you and your posse. Or in the case of an official property in Red Dead Online, that should be the bare minimum of things that should be included with the property before one is released. Now, I know everyone wants properties, but my biggest concern for them personally in Red Dead Online is if Rockstar adds them just for the sake of adding them, I think it will turn out to be a total waste. If players aren't having fun playing all the missions and content in the open world, why would paying lots of money or gold bars for a property be worth it when all that's really going to change is now you'll just be sitting inside of this expensive home that you bought, continuing to do nothing, which is the exact reason that someone was bored of the open world in the first place. If we get properties, we need things to do with these properties, whether it's being able to do some farming on a ranch, etc. Whatever your ideas are, having these minigames to play with your friends inside of your own property or home should be the absolute bare minimum when it comes to Rockstar releasing content like that, rather than just have an empty home of decorations that you didn't even buy just depending on a template that you purchased. We should also be able to play these games. Now, I don't want to get too caught up in the idea of properties in this video, but I did want to discuss that as something that came to my mind when I thought about the potential of these mini games being added. But my other major concern is that if this may just be the major update for Red Dead Online in general, could it be like a mini game focused update? Since we have mention of these activities coming in a new update, it could be really bad news if that's the focus and we don't have a focus on things to buy and new things to buy, because I think that would be the worst case scenario for the game, because ultimately the additions of these activities would be special for all of about a half hour, and really it's something that should have been in the game at launch and not 3 years after release. And that's why a lot of people will be upset when they are added, and that's one of the few things that do get added. And while I'm sure these mini games aren't Rockstar's only plans for their next update, the fan feedback from Blood Money is loud and clear. Players want an update that features tons of things for us to spend our money and gold on. The Bounty Hunters expansion added 42 new missions, Blood Money added a little more than that with all the DLC contracts and opportunities, and then of course the Call to Arms survival modes. We're continuing to get tons of new ways to make money, which means that's half of what a really solid update would be in my opinion. We just need the balancing side of that, which would be once we have all this new money earned from these new activities, where are the new things that we can buy? Before anything else, the update coming this winter needs to have those boxes checked with, for example, new weapons, maybe some ability cards to try out and shake up the current meta builds, and add some much needed variety to ability cards, new horse breeds with even additional horse coats for existing horses, more customization for our camps and our properties like the Moonshine Shack, and I'm not just talking about themes and decor templates and things like that. I'm talking about very specific customization where you can choose exact colors of things, the exact type of chair you want near the fire at your camp, things like that. More weapon customization and variants too, beyond just different color wraps and engravings, and obviously a lot more that I haven't mentioned. But these are just some of the biggest things that have come to my mind when I hear that new minigame activities are coming into the game. It really isn't all that special of news on its own, but if Rockstar can take things a step or two further and accompany these with a social space even for us to play in or something like that, then that will surely add a little bit more of value on top of just receiving new things like we always do every summer and winter. And you know, having that social space could be a realistic possibility, as Rockstar did talk about them wanting to add some sort of social space into Red Dead Online. This is news from way back in February of 2020, so it's certainly old news at this point. GTA got their own social space with the Tuners DLC for GTA Online. We still don't have the social space that Rockstar talked about for Red Dead Online over a year and a half later at this point, and so maybe this winter update will feature that as well. That's just my own speculation, but I would love to get your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think? Are you even like the slightest bit excited for these new activities? Do you think you'll try them out once, or is poker and hopefully these new activities something you and your posse do quite often to pass the time in between roles or other missions in game or things like that? Everyone has their own checklists and things to do when they log into Red Dead Online to play, so I'm definitely curious to hear yours. With all that said though, I think we'll wrap things up right here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are brand new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions out there. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.